All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last segment of Beer Night, episode 11. Number 11, baby. Let me throw it up there, baby. I can't believe we've done 11 of these. Nobody is watching these, unfortunately.
Dude, I mean, there's some people watching.
Some people are watching.
They might watch only like
my
the first.
mom is definitely watching.
Okay.
She loves this stuff.
Well, you can always count.
hearing my voice.
You can always count on mom.
Yes, mom.
There's plenty of people watching like the
Yeah.
first 30 seconds.
First 30 seconds. Clickbait.
Yeah.
Which we're going to clickbait you right now because I want to talk about. This is the movies and TV show segment, right? And slash video game segment. We'll get to that.
Video games as well.
We'll get to that later.
Media and
media shit. The Winter Soldier. No, Falcon.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Right? We just
Wait a
finished
minute.
Series.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier or Captain America and the Winter Soldier?
Oh, you got me there, buddy.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers. What a good series.
Sorry.
Season, right? Maybe it might be another second season, but that's pretty good. 6 episodes.
Fucking
Great. I thought maybe they should have made 8 episodes instead of 6. Maybe should have drawn a little story out a little bit more with
sure they could have
the new Captain America.
Could have made it a little bit longer, maybe.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
But still good with the
great.
way the blimp was and
the blip.
The blip.
You saying blimp?
Blimp.
I'm like, is Goodyear flying overhead or
Maybe.
what? Is this a sports game? We're in the sports segment again, or anything?
Shit, we're going time traveling. Wait, they did that in game. I'm lost. Cross-eye. Oh, I went cross-eye. Anyway.
It's normal. You normally go cross-eyed once every couple of hours.
At least I'm not living in a van down by the river.
It's a random.
It's very, very random.
Random reference.
There you go.
So anyway, how about that Marvel TV show
That was
called
really
The
good.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
What do you think about it?
I thought it was great. I mean, like,
a lot of people want to compare it to WandaVision, which they shouldn't because it's kind of its own separate.
It's
so separate from WandaVision.
Okay, but if we want to do that, in my eyes, it's better than WandaVision. Yeah. But I loved WandaVision. WandaVision was great.
It is great. Great show.
But that I guess that kind of just shows how good Falcon and the Winter Soldier is because I think it was actually better. So, a couple of things. I love those two guys, right?
They gel really well together. Really.
I just and like I have a connection to them from the Captain America movies, the Avengers movies as a whole, but particularly the Captain America movies,
the Winter Soldier.
Like I feel like. But just not just the Winter Soldier, Bucky in general. From the
Bucky
first
in the first one.
It's like there's this equity that's built, which Marvel Studios is great at, right? They've built these characters so that they can then take them on these journeys, and that you will be there with them because you have this investment in these characters. So I find myself throughout these series kind of thinking about the first Captain America movie and Bucky's history with Steve. And I find myself thinking about the opening scene, the Winter Soldier, where Steve is running past Sam over and over on your left. And
always.
When they meet and they build the rapport and then you learn about who Sam is and stuff like that. And it's just, and they build this friendship, and then there's kind of this weird kind of clash between Bucky and Sam because it's kind of like the ex-girlfriend and the new girlfriend, right? It's like his former best friend and his new best friend, and they're kind of they have this little conflict, right? They have this little rub with each other because they're just kind of like awkwardly there with each other, like put in this situation in Civil War together, and you know what? Part of it is the fact that Bucky is such an outcast, right? As the Winter Soldier, because everybody thinks he's a killer and everybody hates him, and the only person that's on his side is Steve.
Yeah.
And Sam is backing up Steve because he's his boy, right? They're boys, so so Sam is backing up Steve. He's like, hey, I'm gonna back you up, I want to back you up and helping this guy, but I'm not sure I really like this guy. It's just and Marvel has done a really great job of building those characters first and foremost, but then taking them into the new direction that they're doing now.
And there's a lot of cool like Civil War callbacks. There's a lot of cool like well, first of all, you have Baron Zemo, right? Yeah, Baron Zemo. So. It's just good job with that series. I wish they did a little bit more with the new Captain America, right? With
John Walker, the U.S. agent.
Yeah, I wish they did a little bit more.
They did a pretty good amount. A little bit. They did a pretty good amount.
Yeah,
I think they did. Well, I mean, they could have done more, sure, but I felt like they established his character pretty well. I thought they established him pretty well. Like I felt like I got him as a war hero. Right, and he had a few scenes with his buddy Battlestar where like I felt like it established him pretty well. The scene that comes to mind is when Battlestar is talking about the medals he's received, and John says he's like, yeah, I know they want to give me, they keep giving me medals to remind me of the worst day of my life and stuff like that. Yeah. So it makes sense too in today's age. Yeah, there's elements there that where I kind of understood his character. Yeah. I understood where he was coming from. I felt like they did enough. Not could they have done more? Sure. Yeah. But I felt like they at least did enough to where I understood his character and where he was coming from. Yeah. Doesn't mean I had to agree with everything that he did. Yeah. Of course not. I mean, so what? Yeah. But I still understood where he was coming from. And even though I could say, okay, you fucked up there, you're an idiot, I could still at the same time understand your backstory and respect your backstory and kind of almost like you as a character. Yeah. And then that comes full circle at the end where you do end up liking him more as a character. Yeah. Even though he fucked up and even though he has moments where you're like, what are you doing, dude? You're just being an ass. But at the same time, but you know what? With it almost, but you know what? To be fair, that's the U.S. agent in the comics. True. That's true. In the comics, that is the U.S. agent. Like you like him at times, but other times you're like, dude, you're being an ass. Yeah. And that is you. And Marvel knows what they're doing. They're adapting their own characters. Yeah. It's not some other. What's always made what they do great is that it's not some random production studio. Yeah. That is taking their characters and trying to be like, oh, well, let's build them into something that'll sell tickets, which is what a lot of movie studios do with comic book characters when they butcher them. Yeah. Marvel knows their characters, obviously, right? They're theirs. So when they created their own production studio, they were able to adapt the characters the way that they thought they should be adapted, not the way that some exec at Warner Brothers or whatever studio should be, let's do this, people like this, it'll sell tickets, let's do it. No, Marvel's like, no, the character needs to be told in this way. And even when they were acquired by Disney was smart enough, like they did with Pixar, by the way. They did the same thing with Marvel they did with Pixar. When they bought Pixar, when Pixar was about to split away from them, and they said, no, we're going to purchase you, and by the way, you just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. They did the same thing with Marvel. Mm-hmm. They purchased Marvel and said, by the way, keep doing it. Yeah, we own you. We're going to distribute all your stuff.
Do what you do. You're doing good.
Just do what you do. Yeah. Exactly. And they were smart to do that because Marvel knows what they're doing with their characters. They know how to adapt their characters. Even if you don't like everything that they do, they are at very least, being true to their characters. Yeah. And the U.S. agent, they were definitely true to him. Yeah. The other thing I want to touch on is they were very true, and I feel like they did a great job with Sam becoming Captain America.
Yeah, they did. I think so too. Yeah.
In the comics, right, when Steve, Captain America, is assassinated after Civil War, the Falcon does take over the mantle of Captain America. Yeah. And first Bucky takes it for a little bit, but Sam actually becomes the new Captain America. And so the foundation was already there. The groundwork was already there. Like I was going into the series assuming that Falcon was going to become Captain America. Yeah, right. Sam was going to become Captain America. Yeah. But the way that they did it was really well done. Going back to Endgame, when he passes the torch, when he gives him the shield, Sam says it feels like it's somebody else's, and Steve looks at him and says it's not. Yeah. Like just little nuances like that. Like there's
then they go back to the past where no, Steve Rogers wasn't the first Captain America. It was just
Isaiah. Well, Isaiah. No, right? Steve was the first. Isaiah was after that.
Okay, you're right. And
so,
just never
by the way, that's actually again another story from the comics.
Yeah.
So Isaiah is a character from the comics. He was a super soldier from the comics that was taken from one of the the side stories of Captain America, where they kind of went back and did a story of kind of not so much an alternate universe story, but kind of like this is a side story that you never heard of before, right?
Yeah.
So, and that was an actual Marvel Comics story from the Captain America storyline, and they brought it into the show, and they did it really well. And I really just like how they kind of made Sam's transition into Captain America contemporary, but also just added kind of story and character based on the groundwork they had laid in the movies, right? Because in the comics it was different. Sam becomes Captain America in the comic books, right? He takes over the mantle from Steve after Steve is killed in the comics, but the context is totally different, right? Because the storylines in the comics were a little bit different. Steve was assassinated, blah blah blah. And then there's just different things going on. There's different elements, so they had to kind of translate it into what they're doing in the cinematic universe, as they call it. So, and I feel like that even though it was expected for him to take over the mantle, the way that they kind of everything unfolded was done really well. I thought the John Walker U.S. Agent stuff was done really well.
Yeah.
Because they kind of molded that into Sam taking over. Because again, in the comics, the U.S. Agent was Captain America in a much earlier storyline, and blah blah blah. I don't want to get too nerdy out, but yeah, I just felt overall it was done really well, and all the characters were handled really well.
Good series, good. Check that out on Disney Plus if you haven't watched it yet. You should have fucking already watched it.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. We're ready for Loki, which is coming, June? You said June 11th?
Can't wait. June 11th, I think. June 11th, yeah.
Loki, you're ready for Marvel. You guys are amazing. Good job, Marvel. You haven't watched yet, I believe, is Godzilla vs. Kong.
No.
You've not watched it yet.
So, in anticipation, so I want to watch Godzilla vs. Kong. Mm-hmm. And so the clock has been turned on for me because it's taken off of HBO Max on April 30th, which is rapidly approaching.
You gotta get it done.
So, gotta get it done. So, what I finally did is went back and watched Godzilla King of the Monsters, since that was... I'd already seen Godzilla, and I'd seen Kong Skull Island. So I was like, I guess I'm going to watch King of the Monsters. So watch that one. Mm-hmm. And so now probably watch Godzilla vs. Kong tomorrow. Probably.
Watch that shit. The only thing I'm going to say, I'm not going to spoil too much for it, for it. The way that they wanted to try and get Kong into a certain situation was kind of like lame and stupid. But the action scenes versus Kong and Godzilla really good. They definitely told a really good story with the the bot Kong? Or no, the bot Godzilla. The
Mechagodzilla.
Mechagodzilla.
Wait a minute, hold on. Mechagodzilla's in this movie?
It was in the trailer, wasn't it?
I don't see Mechagodzilla in the trailer.
He's in the movie.
You spoiling motherfucker.
Spoiling
God
motherfucker.
Damn it.
He's in the movie.
You know how surprised I would have been to see Mechagodzilla and be like,
"Holy
fuck, Mechagodzilla!"
I thought he was in the trailer.
No.
Oh well. Well, there you go. Spoiler alert. Make sure you watch that shit. Can
you believe this fucking guy? Can you believe this?
He'll be excited for it. Don't worry. Another thing I watched was on Netflix. It's the shirt.
Was it?
The shirt I'm wearing right now was The Last Blockbuster. It was really a good documentary. I enjoyed it. They talked about the rise and fall of Blockbuster. Like you know how I told you we're not gonna fucking end WWE shit. The rise and fall of ECW when WWE pulled that shit out from their DVD archives is really fucking good. The Last Blockbuster, really good shit. Really good shit. It tells you a story of how Blockbuster started and how it failed, and you get to the last Blockbuster, which I kind of want to go to now. I think it's I can't remember where. It's in Oregon somewhere.
That's far.
It's far. It's not that far from where we are, but
it's still pretty far.
It's still far. But that would be pretty cool to go see the last Blockbuster.
I like video stores. Like,
yeah,
I am a video store guy. Yeah. Like, yeah. I am a video store guy.
Yeah,
you guys
worked at one.
No, it has nothing to do with it because I enjoyed them far more before I started working there. When I started working there, it kind of loses its novelty. Like, it wasn't cool anymore. Like, it was pretty lame.
Can you imagine, like,
before I started working there, though,
being around?
I would fucking love it. I would love it because I used to love going to the video store so much. It was such a cool experience. It has to do with the fact that I love movies for one. Like, if you
love movies,
if you don't like movies, then obviously you wouldn't like going to a video store. But if you liked movies, if you loved movies like I did, I would go at least twice a week, if not more, to the video store, and I would browse. It would be really cool. There's I'd find new things that it would turn me on to other new things, and I'd always go there on the new release day and get the newest movies, and I'd watch everything, and it was really cool. Now with streaming, it's so not the same. It is so not the same. I can't see every new movie, right? It has to be pay-per-view, right? So even though I pay for these streaming services that put video stores out of business, still can't see new movies unless it's HBO Max. Otherwise, if it's Disney Plus, I got to pay $30. Well, that's for a movie in the theater, I guess. But the new releases don't come on streaming services until they've been out for 6 months. 6 months, at least 6 months, right? So whereas I could go to the movie store on new release Tuesday. Walk out with that movie for $3.
Yeah.
Have it for 5 days. Watch it, and I'm good. Yeah. Now I gotta wait 6 months. Oh, yeah. Or unless I want to do pay-per-view. Now, to be fair, pay-per-view costs the same as going to the video store.
It's true. Like, it does. $4.99.
It does. And it's more convenient because then you don't have to
right at home.
You don't have to pull your ass off the couch. I mean, I get it. It makes sense. It makes sense logistically.
It does.
But from an enjoyment standpoint, there was absolutely a novelty.
It was.
To going to the video store and finding a movie, browsing, finding a movie, getting excited, taking it home.
Talking to the workers. Like, is this a good movie or not?
Sure.
Like maybe
the social interaction.
Social interaction, was pretty cool.
So here's the thing I would compare it to. Okay. Which this should resonate with maybe some more people who, because everybody's all into streaming, so maybe they don't get the movie store thing, the video store thing. But here's something that should resonate with people. Maybe not because they're in streaming for this too as well, but music stores.
Yeah, music stores definitely.
So there was a culture and an element there. You would go in and talk music with people. Yeah. You would go in and find stuff that's rare and hard to find. Yeah. There was a novelty to that. A coolness factor, right? Exactly. An excitement factor.
Or like if you liked like a certain movie or like a certain music genre, and you're trying to figure out what's similar to that, right? You can talk to the people that work there and like, oh, maybe you should check this out or check this music out.
Or you could browse in that genre and see something and be like, that's really cool. Mm-hmm. Now, there are elements of that exist on streaming services and that pay-per-view services as well, but it is not the same. Viewing it digitally is not the same. But maybe we're haplessly old school.
We're old school.
Because maybe you guys just like looking a song up on Spotify or wherever else and looking at the reviews and watching what people blah, blah, blah about it in their typewriter. It's so different. Like, it really is. When you grew up in that era, and maybe we're dating ourselves a little bit, but when you grew up in that era, it is different when you have a reaction in an actual store space with it, or when you talk to someone in an actual store spape, because what people say on the internet is fucking nonsense.
Oh yeah,
I mean, there's so much exaggeration and over the topness.
Yeah, but
that's totally different.
But you love what we talk about. Don't forget that. Right? We're kings on this segment.
Give us all the over the topness when you rate it highly and leave fantastic comments.
Exactly.
And never say anything bad in the comment section. Never talk about his thinning hairline, my already gone hairline, And
at least
yeah,
mine's just
his sweet ass shirt. Look at that sweet ass shirt. It doesn't even look real. It looks superimposed.
Yeah, that's good shit.
I feel like we've talked way too long.
Way too long about this. Quick, I told you I'm not quitting on WWE stuff. Make sure you.
We don't have enough time to talk about this, so let's talk about more shows. How about the show I've started watching?
Make sure you watch A&E's new documentary stuff on WWE. They do a full doc. They just did one on Stone Cold Steve Austin. They released one on Roddy Piper.
Ooh, I'm interested in that.
It's like 2 hours long. It's really good. I haven't watched the Roddy Piper one yet.
You gotta love the Hot Rod. The Hot Rod.
So they did a full
the Hot Rod
documentary on him, and then after that they do like this trying to find treasure, they're trying to find like certain treasures that WWE have, like
hidden treasures.
Hidden treasures. There you go. Like Kane's face mask from his debut and stuff. It's pretty cool.
I don't give a shit about all that. So let's go back to Roddy Piper. Legend, right? So that guy is one of the coolest motherfuckers ever. Amazing. So I love me some Roddy Piper. Anything that has to do with that guy, I will watch. Yeah. So I will find the A&E documentary.
Check that shit out. I haven't watched it yet. It just aired this past Sunday, so I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But make sure you check that shit out. That's all I've been watching. What have you been
I started, I'm only, how many episodes in? 3, 4? Finally started watching The Witcher.
Okay, The Witcher. I haven't watched that shit. Okay.
You played the game, right?
No.
Oh, shit. You're way behind. You're far, man. So, remember I've talked about playing
so you're watching the show, huh?
So finally I was behind on the game. Finally got to that. And then now I'm behind the show. Finally getting to that. And it's pretty fucking awesome so far.
How many seasons do they have?
Just one. The second season they just wrapped shooting is going to release soon.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, the first season was released, a year and a half ago.
Was it, you said you watched the first season already, right?
No, I've watched 3 or 4 episodes.
Pretty good?
It's really good. I like it a lot, yeah. Really good.
I haven't played the game, so.
So, you can still watch the season if you haven't.
Yeah.
Or just watch the show if you haven't played the game.
Yeah.
If you have played the game, though, you get a little bit more Easter eggy stuff.
Okay.
Everything makes more sense if you've played the game. However, you can still definitely watch it just as a standalone story if you haven't and learn about the characters and stuff. But there's more payoffs if you're familiar with the game because then you're like, oh, it's that character. Yeah. Oh, it's that. It's like, you get more of that that oh shit moment.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So,
okay.
Maybe you should play the game.
I probably should. Are we transitioning to video game segment now or what? What are we doing? You got any more shit you watched recently besides that?
I don't know. You talked about all kinds of shit.
I did.
What about
long
so we watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. Finally finished The Sopranos.
Okay.
I've talked about that in the last few episodes. Great show. Okay. So the finale, which was extremely controversial.
It was.
Extremely controversial. I actually saw it when it first aired.
Yeah.
I saw the finale when it first aired. And then watching it again, I
still
see the controversy.
Yeah.
Still doesn't bother me, but I still see the controversy. It's a great show. Fucking great show.
Great show,
huh? Really, really good. So started watching The Witcher after that. Movies. Watched King of the Monsters.
Yeah, watch that.
It was pretty good.
All right.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Now, we don't have Jesnar on our this week.
No video game news.
Video game news. No video game news this month. So I guess we'll just talk about...
Unfortunately, Jenna.
Yes.
We miss you.
We miss you a lot. It's very sad.
Very sad.
Very sad. But next time we do our next episode, maybe we'll have a better segment for video games. We'll see what's going on. But
I got something to talk about for video games.
Okay.
I got something.
You got something?
So not news. I'm not as privy to the news as Jenna is.
Okay. Yeah, she's keen on news.
I just saw the Mortal Kombat movie.
So did I.
So it's it's kind of video game stuff, right? It's Mortal Kombat. So when I saw the Mortal Kombat movie, Just saw it last night, actually. We went and saw it last night.
Friday night, midnight.
Yeah. You went to the...
Well, I wish I could have gone midnight in theaters, but I saw it on HBO Max midnight.
Okay. Yeah. No, we went to the theater last night.
We did?
Yeah, we did.
Here you go. I couldn't do that. I had to work.
The Titan Lux.
I wish I could.
Yeah.
I did see Godzilla vs Kong on opening night. Thursday. I think it was Thursday night. I did see that one.
Yeah, it was good. So last night. So I just got back last night from seeing it.
What do you think about it? What do you think?
What do you think?
I love the action. Okay. Spoilers. Spoilers. If you don't want to fucking know anything, stop watching, which you probably already have. The kind of the spot where you know how Jax goes in to confront Sub-Zero, like at the beginning, kind of like the beginning of the movie, right? And then what's her face? Sonya, right? And Sonya and Cole, right? And they meet up, right? And then Sonya's asking, "Where's Jax at? Right? Where's Jax? Oh, he went to go fight. He's back there fighting." It's like, oh, okay. Let me tell you what's going on about the world, about Mortal Kombat and shit. And then they fucking completely forget what Jax is fucking doing. He's fucking dead with his arms fucking cut off. Sonya completely forgets her fucking partner. Like, and then they go fucking walk and figure out where they're supposed to go and find this Mortal Kombat. And oh, Jax is here? Oh, my partner is finally safe?
It's convenient.
It's like convenient. Like they didn't think about like fucking. Well, that's kind of the only iffy part with me. Like you would think, right? Your partner.
Well,
right,
but
Jax is fucking dying somewhere. You would think you would go find him.
Well, but to try to defend it, it was like far away. They were like out of state, shit like that. So yeah. It was supposed to be like far away.
It was supposed to be far away?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, okay. I guess that makes sense. If that's the defense.
Yeah, so... Like,
I didn't realize that maybe it was far. I thought maybe... Because I remember Jax giving Cole the coordinates for Sonya.
He tells Cole to go here in the state or whatever.
I didn't think it was that far. I mean,
it was far.
I remember when Cole asked... or Sonya asked.
It was supposed to be far. It wasn't like around the corner.
Okay. You would think they would go search for him, just not leave him for fucking dead.
It's supposed to be far away.
Right,
now, to your point though, they did move on relatively quickly, and then all of a sudden he just appeared in the Shaolin Temple.
Yeah,
it's like, well,
did he come from?
Well, it was because Liu Kang was out searching for the guys with the symbol.
When you see that happen, like okay, the action part was really good. The video game callbacks were really cool. Even though it had its cheesiness, it still was pretty cool with like flawless victory and shit. And,
that was great.
That was great. I actually enjoyed that. I thought you would think it was cheesy, but that was great.
No, it was great because it was a Kung Lao fatality, right? So, and Kung Lao was pretty much a badass in that movie. Like he was cool, and it sucked to see him die. But he was pretty much spoiler.
Shit.
He was pretty much badass. So then he does the spinning around fatality where he cuts him. It was pretty badass. And then like he said flawless victory instead of fatality. Which I see why. And yeah, it's cheesy, but it was still it's a fucking Mortal Kombat movie. Like, come on. Like, it's just our expectations should not be too high.
And then the whole like uppercut. Use your uppercut.
The uppercut.
Like everyone, like in the first two, at least the first two Mortal Kombat games, right?
Four, really.
You got to use that uppercut, man. The uppercut is powerful. So that was pretty cool callback. Right now, I enjoyed the movie. What about you? You enjoyed it?
I did. I liked it. It wasn't like the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I did enjoy it. My only critique, I didn't find too many flaws with the plot holes like you were talking about Jack stuff like that. Like that stuff is just kind of like whatever. You're just along for the ride.
That is like we're just small plot, but like
we're just along for the ride at that point. It's kind of like whatever. They're just doing what they're doing what they're doing. So it's moving the plot along. It's just one of those things where it's Mortal Kombat. Okay. So it's like loved Kano. Kano was great.
Kano was fantastic. I love it. It's spot on what I thought like his character would be. This so like,
maybe even better than you think his character would be.
Like
it was just they
obnoxious.
Yeah, just
sarcastic,
funny.
Yeah,
like just his lines like. I want you to put a shirt on, Magic Mike. You know, it's just like, come on.
There you go.
It's like, it's great.
I remember that one.
Yeah, it's funny. He's talking to Liu Kang, too. It's like, and Liu Kang's just sitting there with like the stone face. And then Kano throws that line at him. It's like, yeah, it's just such, like, it's such an odd couple. But, and the sweep, the leg where he kept sweeping.
Yeah,
That's
a perfect.
Is that the only movie you know, bro? Yes.
Video game, yes.
Yeah, exactly. It was funny. It was good. Really well done.
Really well done.
My only complaint. Yeah. I want to say it's relatively minor, but it could be major. Is that I felt like the fighting could have been better.
I agree. It could have been a little bit better.
They did a lot of the close-up camera stuff, the close-up shaky cam, which hides the deficiencies of the fighters to me. Like, they didn't do enough kind of steady cam, let's watch these guys kick ass nicknames and go. Now, they did with the Sub-Zero and Scorpion fight, both the beginning and the end. The beginning
scene was amazing.
Yeah, and the end fight with Scorpion and Sub-Zero was great, and Cole as well was great. Like that there was really cool, but there's a lot of other stuff where it was like where you would just see their shoulders and their arms moving because it was zoomed in so much and shaky. And it's like, okay, they're cheating a little bit here. They're cheating a little bit. But overall, the action was still really well done. It was still like, even in those scenes, it was exciting. And I'm just nitpicking at that point by saying, you know, when you've seen enough good martial arts movies. You watch something like The Raid, or like The Protector. I mean, there's so many martial arts movies you can mention, to where like when you can kind of tell when they're cheating a little bit with the camera work and stuff like this. Like, they're kind of cheating. They're making it look like there's more action going on than there really is. But that aside, like the action scenes were still exciting. It was still fun to watch, and they still had enough good martial arts scenes where it made up for those moments when they were cheating a little bit.
I'm excited for set up the sequel pretty well.
Yeah, Johnny Cage. Set up Johnny Cage.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what's going to happen next. I'm pretty. Unlike the original Mortal Kombat, I was definitely not excited for the sequel for the original.
I really loved the original at the time, though.
At the time,
it's revision. You're kind of being revision history. At the time, everybody kind of loved it.
Even though
in hindsight,
Annihilation was garbage.
Yeah,
freaking garbage as hell. So definitely good. Check that shit out if you're a video game or.
So maybe they bring in Sub-Zero's brother?
Maybe.
Maybe bring some Scorpion back for some more NetherRealm shit.
I think they will. They should. Anyway, they should.
So here's the other thing. I don't want to get off too big of a thing here. But the whole idea about bringing in their powers, right?
Their inner.
Yeah,
I would say inner chi, but it's not.
That's Street Fighter. Street Fighter. Chi is Street Fighter. Yeah.
What would they call it?
It's some weird name. That's like chi. It's the same.
It's like
shit,
inner
so,
chi.
but so
they're bringing their inner powers.
It's kind of like, I mean, they needed a way to explain the superhuman abilities. I get that. They needed a way to explain how they have,
like in real life. Why do they have
exactly.
So why do they have the tattoo?
I get it. They needed a reason. They needed a way to explain that Kung Lao can teleport. Liu Kang can throw fireballs. Kano can shoot a laser out of his eye. In
like realistic ways. Why?
Yes, Sub-Zero can freeze shit. I mean, they needed a way to explain. So they just kind of came up with some arbitrary kind of like, there's this thing that you can summon from your inner self that gives you these powers. Yeah, it's chi basically. It's basically chi. They just call it a different name.
I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, something like I think it started with an A. It's like something Abed, something like that. But I thought that was.
Yeah, it was like, whatever.
You just kind of go with it. You're just kind of like, all right, whatever you say. And that's how Jax forms his arms, because his inner chi apparently gives him cybernetic abilities.
He gives him bigger, strong arms than what he had. Whatever.
He's like Cyborg all of a sudden, where he can just like manifest all these mechanical parts.
Fair enough.
Right. Anyway, it was a fun movie.
Fun
movie.
movie. Make sure you check that shit out on HBO Max or in theaters if you have that in theaters near you. Any other video game shit that we got?
Well, what have you been playing? You said you've been playing a lot of video games.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Days Gone. It just was free on PS Plus. It's very old. It's very old. It is. I never played it though. I never bought it. Never got it. It's really fun. It's definitely a long game so far. It's always like killing zombies and fucking doing missions, and you're on a motorbike. It's a very cool game. I'm surprised I didn't get into it sooner than I thought I did. Make sure you check out Days Gone. It's free for PS Plus for the rest of the month. I don't know. I think it ends like in a couple days, so make sure you get that free
at the end of the month, maybe.
End of the month, yeah. End of April. We're in April, right?
Yeah.
I'm lost. I'm confused.
Yeah, we're not quite made it.
Make sure you check that shit out. Other than that, that's about it. I think that wraps up.
Yeah, Jenna's not here to give us video game news, so you just get to hear us idiots talk about stupid shit the merits of superhuman Mortal Kombat abilities.
Exactly.
And,
makes me want to play more.
Why Sub-Zero can freeze,
yeah,
and Liu Kang can throw fireballs, and Raiden can shoot lightning bolts out of his ass.
Shit happens sometimes. Thank you.
The elder gods are watching you.
Make sure you follow us on Facebook at Beer Night Podcast. Subscribe to Beer Night on YouTube. Comment on anything what you've been watching, what we should be watching.
And follow us on Twitter.
Twitter, yes. I post shit on Twitter all the time. Beer Night Pod. At Pure Night Pod. Pure Night. You can tell I've been drinking a lot. Beer Night Pod on Twitter. I post shit every there all the time. If I can, I guess. I don't know.
You post shit every there?
Every there?
Over there? Is that what you were trying to say? I think Mr. Sacco is better enunciating.
He's over there. He's drunk, passed out. I gave him the mandible claw.
It's still better enunciating than you.
Whatever. Are we done?
You gave him the mandible claw?
I gave him the mandible claw.
I thought he was one who delivers the mandible claw.
Well, I'm fucking badass. So I gave him the mandible claw and he's passed out. 1, 2, 3. Done.
That's right. He gave the mandible claw to his sock.
Yes.
Do you even know what the mandible claw is?
I don't know.
Consider yourself lucky.
Yes. Thank God you don't know what that is because it's painful and you're not going to like it. Are we done?
Fatality.
Fatality.
That's us dying on screen right now. Just utterly dying on screen.
Figuring out how the fuck we're going to end this
no
shit.
ending whatsoever. Just utterly fucking dying in front of all of you. With Shang Tsung or Shao Kahn in the background saying, fatality.
Oh.
You weak, pathetic fools.
Cheers to you. Thank you very much for watching Beer Night episode 11. Good night, good fight.